Hey guys, my name is Nogan and welcome to my Java series. Hope you guys are doing good. So in today's video, we're going to be focusing on continuous loops and also try to at least do two more types of loops in programming. And then we'll jump to much more different concepts of programming Java, mostly data structures, which of course will be arrays, one-dimensional, two-dimensional, and array lists, so forth. So let me open up the IDE, means create a new project. Okay, I'm gonna call this. We're gonna just make a class application program, just do some basic things. Okay, so we have a class program here. I just rename this a test program again to test test clock Java engine point Java file class. Okay, so we have this. Okay, so when you have this now, we're gonna create just like a basic program for a clock, which means we just display time, meaning for example, it will of course have an increment of time, which you mean per second. So on that point, I'll just first import a library, import java.time dot asterisk. So this okay, close these things down. Okay, asterisk this awesome. Now let me remove these and build our program. Now in the main void function in this public class test clock, we'll just declare a few variables. Of course, we'll be declaring a predefined object class from this import Java time library here, which means I'll just say here load local date time. See now, then I'll say int now sec for seconds, int previous second, initialize to 0. I'll declare for loop for. We won't take any arguments in the parentheses, so eventually it will be like an empty for loop like this. So like normally sometimes a for loop like this will contain of course like a declaration. For example, it will contain int I initializes 0, for example. Then you'll say of course I is less than 5 or something. Then of course you have like an I plus plus. This is like a basic argument condition, which means because this is just like a basic, this is a for loop. For loop of course it's also a function, because why? It contains a name of the function, parentheses of course it takes arguments. For example, here it takes an argument 3 variables, which of course based on the argument here. So if you think about it from fundamentally speaking, a for loop is similar to a function, because this for loop we can remove these and just include a semicolon like this after. It's a function, which means it hasn't been defined by definition. It's an empty statement, as you can see here. So after you've given a body by definition, which means the body will contain of course code to execute now instructions instructions in the body of the for loop. So like I mentioned, this will be just like an empty for loop like this. Awesome. Now after this, I'll declare a few variables inside, which means let me now initialize to the variable of the, which eventually is the class name of local date time with an object called now. Then the now of course object or a variable declaration of course will contain local again, local date time using the now function. Now function, then I'll say now second equals to now dot we use now the get seconds function, the predefined function of get seconds. Awesome. So after this, we declare of course an if statement inside here. So the if now second is not equal to, which means it's not equal to the previous second. Mean in the body of this for loop, you can execute this for loop statements by saying system out the print line, which means you want to print of course the now dot get hours, which means you want to get the hours of course, and also you want to display the following, meaning we'll say on the play also the now dot get the minutes, because after minutes you want to also see the minutes, and also after minutes we want to see also now dot the seconds. But now because seconds we initialize second variable of course on top there, we just get the seconds that are based in the program. For example, the variable declared, which needs to be just now sec variable. So because we declared basically those those statements of course in that, we need to also to consider that the statement of course here needs to do a certain functionality by means of an argument, because the now variables being specified of course. For example, we look at the now the get minutes, and also the plus given this now second second. So basically that will be essential for what's going on. Expected. Okay. We have this, which means we're going to use this. So it's separate, of course, using this semicolon here. Alright, then saying okay, plus again, plus now get minutes, plus putting this also in this. So what is the problem? Yeah, there you go. Awesome. Okay, so after this, the previous second equals to now sec. Awesome. Okay, so we have this statement of course in the body of this, meaning now if the now second is not equal to previous, this statement of course will execute, giving us of course these instructions in the body of the if statement. Let's try to bold and clean this. Let's see, and bold this. Just go top here. Awesome. So just run this and see what's the output. Awesome. As you can see now here, there's an increment of time based on the current time we have now here. If you look beneath here, let's see, for example, let me show you. If you look beneath here, there's a time we have here, which means down here. Now this time of course is incrementing basically there per second. As you'll see beneath here, we have now it's 1444, so it's still increasing based on the current time we have. So the application is still running because of the for loop that we have here as an increment, because this for loop now just it doesn't take any arguments, because we're using the current time status now to show of course this interesting output. As you can see here, it's still continuing. So when the time changes, of course, you'll see now when the time changes, of course, here beneath here, when it changes here, it will be the the current application also running um, on the same time. So which means it's when it's 14 um, 45, it will be based on the program running, of course, synchronizing with this time that we have here, as you can see there. So the time, of course, there, it's this time is the same. This one that is here. So guys, you can see we built a nice program that does something in real-time applications. You can see here. This is a time sequence, of course. It shows, of course, the fundamentals of the time given here. So it just justifies that in the real-time application. I hope you enjoyed this program application. So basically, you can also try to copy this and just write it down, write the code down in a piece of paper, code from scratch, and use this just like to see, of course, because we're just importing a Java.time class library. We can use, of course, as a means of these built-in classes, objects, and stuff in our program here. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching.